That's a Shame is brought to you by the people who support us over at patreon.com/shamecity.
If you have $1,
$2.
$1 to spare, join us again at patreon.com/shamecity. Please.
Look for the bare necessities, the simple bare necessities.
Hello and welcome to episode 134 of That's a Shame. I'm Isaac, and joining me, the only other person in the room as far as I'm concerned, why, it's you.
Me?
Yes, you.
Who am I?
Declan D. Lane.
Oh,
how's it going?
That is nice. Yeah, it's all right, thank you. It's 2 a.m.
Yep, 2 a.m. on Sunday, the episode day. The day of episodes being released. It's one of the big days, God's favourite, of course, and our favourite now as That's a Shame presenters. Now, I try my best to be upfront with the listenership.
Sorry, could I just interject?
Yeah, go on.
All I was going to say is you've done a big rudeness.
Oh, that doesn't sound like me because I was brought up on courtesy.
Well, all it is you've done a bit of erasure
yes.
of one of the most important minorities going.
Right.
Straight white men.
Oh, God, far be it from me to attack my own in this regard.
It'll always be your own. But you said that I was the only other person in the room as far as you could see.
Yeah, well, I was looking straight forward, of course.
Well, this is your
Blinkered
problem.
by my own prejudice.
Your own ignorance.
Fuck!
Because
like a big dumb horse.
If you'd glanced...
Yeah, off to the...
Right.
Fuck.
Who would you have seen?
Cackling away under his
to
breath.
your wondering eyes should appear?
Is it a task guest?
It is.
Could it be? Not since episode... Insert episode number here in the edit. Have we had a guest on
Wayne
our show?
Shipman.
Oh, of course, yeah. Wow, that was a big one. And today we have a similar conspiratorial theorist. It's everyone. Let's say it together.
He likes to debate.
The baller. I like to debate.
It's Toby, Milestone's king.
Woo! Here he is.
We've had 4 guests, including Toby now.
Wow. Okay, so you're the 4th, and that's the magic number.
But you're only like the 2nd guest.
Yeah.
Of whom our listeners will have had any real knowledge before.
After Wayne Shipman.
Before coming in. Yeah, exactly. Because they didn't know fuck all about Amy or Dange.
No.
And still don't.
Very, very little. Toby, how's it going?
I can't express how much I immediately regretted this the minute you pressed record.
That's so good to hear, Toby, because it's a welcoming atmosphere that we try to conjure.
To try and give it something of a mental picture, we're sat around with I can't remember if it's the Orthodox or Unorthodox recording studio. It's one of them.
Yeah.
Declan and Isaac are staring into each other's eyes across the table in an intimate way. I've been here, I think, for about 3 days now.
I've been here about half an hour.
Waiting for Isaac to come. It's 2 a.m. and it's this is a terrible, terrible mistake on my
what you're
part.
saying is you feel honoured to be on this side of the microphone.
Oh, yeah.
Rather than the earphone side of the microphone, which some don't even consider part of the microphone remit at all.
And I will still send in aggressive comments about how I hate
about
this episode.
Yeah, as
always do.
That's good to hear.
Let's not forget, though, that this is not Toby's first time.
His first rodeo.
Behind the mic with Isaac and Declan. Which will, of course, be
the documentary that we don't get to make because we're imprisoned and unavailable for comment for the
legally
majority.
not allowed to touch anything that's electric.
Real shame. No, well, back in the day, I mean, the heady days of, 2015?
Halcyon days.
Yeah, the salad days of our youth. We used to present a little show that we've kind of spoofed, in some sense, title-wise at least, on TAS, called Dial M for, it was for Toby.
Yeah.
Dial M for Toby, not it was for Toby. Yeah. And tell us why you came up with that name, Toby.
Very much didn't. I'd like to point out we had about 20 names.
And
we
kept
spent
saying, I want this one because I'm in it.
I think we spent about 3 weeks trying to pick a name. We spent more time trying to pick a name for the stupid bloody show than actually any time we ever spent doing anything on the show.
And it was just us 3.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
No, it was our dear friend Ross also. Who
you bullied incessantly.
That's not true. I mean, you will have heard and made what you will of the
You'll be
sex
hearing
story
from our
before.
Shame City lawyer.
Yeah, Noah, tweet me big time.
But But yes, we used to do this radio show,
And you loved every minute of it.
It
was a mixed bag. It was a grab bag.
Didn't you find, sorry to just interject, but this is important for everyone to know.
Yeah.
I was a very consummate host, wasn't I? It's all right, you can say yes. There's no judgment. I drove that desk like no one's business. I remember.
Sorry, consummate here meaning...
Very talented and good. And committed to the cause.
I see.
Which is 3 things which any person in their right mind would easily attribute to IBD, the IBD brand. I remember
things weren't always smooth.
No, and that's what I was just getting to. Because the first episode I was away, I was up north and I tuned into Dial M, and here it went. It was like University Radio York, Dial M, and we had a lovely jingle that I'd made.
It was very
like
good.
fruity, 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 and then there was some guy chatting about like, oh dear, I'm coming home. It was very weird. And then 4-5 minutes of dead air, and then I hear. Hello, like an old man peering into a well.
And that was me.
And that was Declan,
I was that old
misunderstanding audio.
It was me because
Fucking dead air Declan.
Because of all of the things Isaac had warned me and trained me for when using the little radio desk.
Yeah.
The one thing he hadn't mentioned, and perhaps didn't know, having only ever sat in that particular chair himself, is that the headphones for that seat are inordinately worse than for any other
really?
seat.
So you didn't know anything was going on.
I couldn't hear a fucking thing. So I thought, oh no, I've forgotten to push all the buttons.
Yeah.
Until Toby was like, yeah, we can hear you. And I was like, well, it's the radio. Hello,
Hey
everyone."
guys, you made the best
sound.
of it. You did actually commit a crime that is fine. Like URY could have been fined for that, leaving dead air.
And they rang me because they were going to find me. And then I said to them, no, I am trained. I'm studio trained. And they were like, by whom? And I was like, I can't remember.
Bernier.
And then I did a big lie, and I said, oh, my friend and I were going to do a show in first year, and some guy trained us. And but then we never went through
Chris
with it.
Moyles, I think.
Well,
Joe Rogan.
and he went, who was it? And I went, look, this was 3 years ago. Like I don't remember.
It's a good lie.
And he went, and I went, he was fat, and he went,
Old fatty radio man.
And you've never told another lie since.
No. Of course,
turning point.
Isaac, it wasn't just me that made faux pas on the mic there. You famously in our last episode broadcast the most heinous racial slur known
Let's
to
just
man
clarify that
live on the
comment.
radio at what
2
time?
p.m.-ish.
Yeah.
I wasn't the one offering the slur. It was Childish Gambino. I thought it was a clean mix of
However-
the song because it did say.
However, you had been warned by me.
Yeah, but I thought
And others who
I
were
thought
there.
surely they would.
I think
be
everyone
safe.
in the room
Who
had
said,
said,
pretty sure there's some swearing.
Yeah, and I knew there was.
Maybe don't risk it.
No,
And then-
you've got to risk it in radio. That's how we made a name for
not
ourselves.
20 seconds in.
Dum, dum. Anyone who's heard 3005 will
Fuck
know
these other-
it doesn't take long at all before Childish really pushes you over the edge of
And then-
what's broadcastable. At
And
that
then,
time.
as doesn't happen in the Spotify version,
Yeah.
the music went down, the mics came back up.
And that was the end of that
Back
song.
to the studio.
And we all pretended it didn't happen. Oh, do you remember that there was that girl in the room who had been on the radio show once? while I
yeah,
was away?
she'd been. So we for the last episode we got on everyone we could who had like sat in at various points
Who
when
we'd
one of us
ever
had been
been
away.
able to kidnap
And
into.
she'd been a producer, and bless her, she was so lovely
Yeah,
and
she
sweet
seemed
and
very
professional, and didn't understand what the hell was going on.
No.
like it was the most confusing time in the world. for her.
Complicated atmosphere. I think you were late to the last one or something because your
because
back had fallen off or something.
Yeah, I couldn't move, so I was 20 minutes late.
And there was I just holding up the fort, which is always my role in these
Well, you had
situations.
Toby and Ross there as well.
Yeah, but you need a kind of host prime, which is what they used to call me. They'd be like, "Oh, host prime, are you ready to go?" And I'd be
He
like,
likes putting Prime after himself. as a
Like
little
Optimus.
title. Yeah.
I just really respect that guy. So we've got Toby here. How did that come about? Well, we were on a night out and we just made it happen.
Yeah.
And then you also did some follow-up planning, so thank you, Declan.
Yeah.
We've been trying to
As
do
a
it for a
kind of
little while.
social secretary.
Exactly.
And
One of my
these
many
things-
jobs for the show.
Yeah, one of your few roles that you take after Host Prime has finished pumping the whole thing out.
Oh.
RSS style, I mean.
The problem is, right, you don't understand this. When people at home are listening and you say phrases like pumping it out and
RSS
prime,
style.
we hear it,
Yeah.
and Declan doesn't feedback because he doesn't have the guts to feedback. That's disgusting, and don't Don't say that. It's horrid.
I often tell him not to say these terrible things.
Yeah.
But you're used to it. You're like immune to it. Yeah,
exactly.
You've had, it's like a vaccine.
Sorry, you should hear the filth that goes on when the mic is off. Makes this look like a real cakewalk for the old ears.
It's been a while since we had a guest, Declan. What made you think that now is right and Toby was the right guest to get on?
Well, there's lots of factors involved. Number one, in terms of why now, is because you've been bitching about having a guest on for ages.
Well,
specifically,
bitching is the wrong word to use. I'd say commanding, maybe professing a desire to.
Commanding is an interesting word, but given that no one answered,
yeah, exactly.
We got close, but then the all too powerful Angels lobby had her removed.
We should tell people about that just briefly. We were in email contact with a psychic, one of the UK's premier psychics, and she was absolutely gagging to be on the show, let's be honest. It took only one email before she was intrigued.
Champing at the bit.
Right upon the big bit that
the
there
big
is.
Spiritual bit.
It didn't take any, because normally when I email guests, I say, as if that's a regular occurrence, I'm a bit cagey about what the show is, because I get the impression that even the name, That's a Shame, if you're invited on a show called That's a Shame, it's like being invited on a show called You're Dumb and we're going to make fun of you, which is obviously not the vibe. Toby, we're not making fun of you, of course.
No, famously. You never have done.
Never would.
No,
never
why would you?
You're disabled, so that counts
I
as
know.
a
would be a
hate crime.
It is literally a hate crime.
And that's why, well, no, that's not why. That's just part of why we never would. Anyway.
It's also part of why this is going to be such a brave, pioneering show.
Finally, the autistics are going to get bullied like they should.
Oh, that was Toby there. You can
That was,
address
yeah.
Toby at shame.city. It doesn't exist. So best of luck.
I am not joining the show permanently.
We're going to put Toby's face up as the front instead of the album art for this show.
Yeah, you should just like Photoshop him onto the dock as horrifically
very
as
offensive.
Are there ways we could not do that?
I'll think about it.
Not as many as you'd hope.
I mentioned the name of the show. I obviously overinflated our listener stats
obviously.
just to give us some sense of cachet. And within the hour, she'd emailed back, I think, to be like, I'm really interested. What sort of thing, like, what's the nature of the interview? What's it going to be? And I just gave her a rundown of like what I was making up. We're like, yeah, we'll just talk about, we're interested in psychics as a concept. We just want to kind of get to know more about spiritualism and all that vibe. And the next day she emailed back and was like, I'm going to have to talk to my publishers because I've got a book coming out and there are some things that I don't want to say because then it's going to like hurt the book sales.
That's fair enough.
And not only was it fair enough, but it also gave her such credence. I was like, well,
exactly.
This is going to be a published author psychic we have on the show. And then she got in touch to say, not long after that it was all fine. The publisher was absolutely fine with it, except that very important caveat: no angels chat. Like we could not get into the angels because obviously that's prime.
Can't talk too deeply about angels.
Yeah.
Like she can give them a superficial
An
nod,
overview, yeah.
But beyond that,
You can't
it's
say
a real
too much.
Demons,
And it-
absolutely fine.
and it-
Demons are fair game.
And it is probably for the best that she never did end up coming on the show because I cannot,
Only
I cannot explain to you how many questions I'd have asked about angels.
I was at
Gabriel.
I was at a public fair sort of thing, just stalls and writing for kids and that. And they had a tent of arts and crafts. And this very nice middle-aged lady was selling arts and crafts, including a little metal angel with a red ribbon. I was like, that's nice. I said,
nice.
And she said, well, having a look at that. It's not for you.
Oh.
And I went, okay, all right, why? And she went, that's the angel of menstruation.
Oh!
I was like, oh, it's not for me. Oh, golly. Well.
Wow, well, she's assumed there, and that makes an ass out of you and her.
Yeah.
And that's not something we can support here.
So the angel of menstruation will not fly over me, and that's very upsetting.
That is upsetting.
That is a shame. And, did you push it any further? Did you try to...
Absolutely not. I reached a point where I was like, there's nothing I can offer her in returns for an angel of menstruation.
I guess
beyond
that's
cold hard cash, I
almost
suppose.
always.
I've got the demon of pre-cum here in my pocket and I'm looking to have a little trade.
See, now, this is
lower
the
the
stuff that,
tone.
when you say this stuff, everyone at home hates it, except
Yeah.
apparently in the Congo.
I've called you out for that in a big way.
The Congo love it.
I think it's time that we elevate this show because it's become something of a, I don't want to use the phrase tabloid mess, but that's kind of the vibe we're going. all this talk about bodily functions, all this talk about bullying autistic people, which Toby, you can confirm, is not happening.
No.
Exactly.
Not yet.
Exactly, it's not. I'd like to bring the show up to loftier heights, up to the muses themselves, specifically whatever the muse is that's in charge of pens. Pennio, perhaps. Toby is a noteworthy playwright. Would you say, Toby?
I would say noteworthy. Got a new show on.
Declan, would you say?
I'd say very noteworthy.
Yeah.
Notes-worthy.
Many notes. Yeah, I'd say so as well. And your output at this tender age of, what are you, 16? 24, something like that?
In my mid-20s.
In his mid-20s. Very cagey about your age there. Like
I don't want to
supermodel.
because all it takes is one mental.
Yeah.
And not
And
the
you're in the
relationship
room with
but
one-
just
one
one
of
of them,
them.
and they'll find me and eat my flesh.
This episode's going out with your full
Social
address,
security number.
just so that you're clear.
Oh, good.
At the tender age of mid-20s, you've written...
Have you said that just to make Isaac feel
young.
better?
Yeah, because you're younger than me, aren't you? You're the baby.
Yeah.
You're the little baby.
Declan's the baby.
I'm the baby.
Oh, no,
By about
yeah,
3 years. Don't even start on that. Toby's output is prodigious. Not only prodigious, but prestigious. He's written 35,000 plays, at least, as far as I know.
Knocks the bard into a cocked hat.
Yeah, what's the point of Shakespeare, say I? What I've done then is a little feature that I came up with on the walk to work this morning. I was thinking, how can we welcome Toby into That's a Shame, the That's a Shame fold? And it's obviously going to be with a feature. And a feature that comes from the name first. That's always been our... Even
That
since
was the
Dial
Dial-M
we
way.
had, what were some of the great features? Scream of the Week.
Jamie's Bowmen.
Jamie's Bowmen, Cheese or Disease, just some of the many classics that we had back in the day. I've got one here that was originally going to be called Toby or Noby, but I've added in brackets OD, so it's Toby or Nobody. Toby or Nobody. So there's a little cadence there. Maybe you want to...
Well, no, see, I think I did... Now, I don't email often.
No.
But when I do, I think I did point out
How good the
how
features-
not good the features are. I'm not going to
Oh,
lie.
that's weird. Well, be
not
that
gonna
as it
pander.
may.
Maybe this side of the mic, you'll get a different
Oh, yeah,
perspective.
I'm sure.
Because you'll see that there's a lot of thought that goes into these features, and this one is really it's a favour that I'm going to do to you, absolutely, because I know, as you said, you've got a show coming up soon.
It's a rare gift that Isaac bestows to bring content at all. So
Yeah. Fuck, don't look a gift horse in the
To
mouth.
have written it specifically, you don't like chide too hard.
No,
No,
I'm ready. I'm girded.
The point of this feature is
Can
not...
I just ask,
Yeah, go
before
for it.
you get going,
Yeah.
is there any rap element?
There's not, thank you for asking.
And where are we on the teeth scale?
Let me just check. There's no teeth. There's something close to the teeth.
Oh, how close?
Pretty close.
Oh, no.
Pretty damn close.
Full of tongue. Chock full of tongue.
This is a feature. What I'm going to just lift up the wizard's sleeve here, guys. This is a feature. Sure, it's content, but it's also an advert.
You've done
for
horror.
Toby's
Is there,
penmanship.
is there an angel for that?
Yeah,
or?
the angel of the wizard's sleeve, absolutely. It's a way for us to get the word out about what a genuinely talented writer we think Toby is, which we both do think.
And we'll be giving you some time to plug your show.
Absolutely.
Very kind. I'm so
Which
nervous
we're both
now.
coming to see.
100%.
100%. I
You've been-
don't look at me like that. I
you've
am
been-
going to see it.
You've been telling me about this play for longer than you've known me.
Yeah.
So
Because if I don't sell
have to
tickets,
be
I
there.
owe the Waltz a lot of money. That's
So,
why.
I've got here 5 quotes from theatre in general. Our job as a panel, and this includes you, Toby, which is going to be interesting because it's not often that the writer gets involved in this kind of level of engaging with their own work and the work of
Not
others.
since J.K. Rowling.
No, not since J.K. Rowling. And when I reread Chamber of Secrets recently, it made me sick to the back teeth that Salazar Slytherin put that basilisk in thousands of years ago. It's like 1400 they got that score. Included, I presume, the pipes by which it travels
almost
around.
certainly.
And yet the wizards were still shitting on the floor. They just put in snake pipes, not shit pipes.
Yeah.
Is that what I'm to believe?
It was just one big... They were looking at the blueprints, the rest of them, they're like...
There's a lot of space for
Salazar, we're shit all over the floor. What's this heavily sophisticated
don't be putting anything in there.
drainage system?
I think it's the other way around.
Salazar, you've done there's an enormous basement cave with lots of snake paraphernalia in it. We don't know if we can afford the cement, dear.
But see, I think it's the other way around. I think they went, oh, great, you've designed a system so we don't have to shit on the floor. And he went, no.
I know a great spell.
I'm not one to mess with tradition.
So yeah, anyway, that was annoying. This is a chance for us to go round table. I'm going to be reading each of these quotes. Of course, I'm a very talented actor.
Well, obviously.
Toby, you cast me in
a
play.
You've shaken hands with Stuart McCann.
Yeah, and he's
in this kind of Space Jam-esque way, you just sort of suckered some of the talent.
It wasn't that he said it out loud, but with his eyes, he passed on the torch to the next generation, i.e. me, Isaac.
You are indeed only one generation below.
I was going to say this.
Pretty much. Yeah. He said they were some dog generations between me and you.
You're the next guy.
I mean, you're the next generation in terms of like Mick Jagger.
It's like the Dalai Lama. That kind of level of reincarnation that we're talking about. Here I have 5 quotes. Our job is to work out if it's from Toby, nobody, or other. And that other is for you to kind of ruminate upon as we get to it.
So, sorry, what's the distinction between nobody and other?
Nobody is if no one ever wrote it and it just appeared on the page.
Okay.
And other is if it's a famous quote from other works.
Okay.
Appeared like a snake sliding out of a shit pipe. As it
Exactly. Thank you for that imagery.
Yeah, welcome.
Here's our first one. I'm going to do it in a voice of a character that I've portrayed quite excellently previously.
And it's the Nazi parrot
And
from
it is the
Play in
Nazi
a Day.
parrot from Drama Barn's Play in a Day. Here it goes. Just let me get into character for a moment here.
State. Spitting everywhere.
I'm Alan Bennett and I love licking vowels. That's the quote. So it was, I don't know if you heard, I'm Alan Bennett and that's not or, and I love licking vowels. So that's a kind of word thing, isn't it?
Now,
Alan
Toby,
Bennett loves the written word.
I came to see your very good play, Alan and Bennett.
Yep.
Starring Isaac.
Yes.
And Liz Cook.
Yes.
Yep.
Now, do you want to just give us a brief rundown of what that play was?
Yeah, so it was Alan Bennett having a conversation with another Alan Bennett, and it's to do with aging, and it's to do with loneliness, and
Now, I just want to confirm with you though. You're sure that it was Alan Bennett talking to Alan Bennett? Because it's worth checking. Because when I came to see the show in Edinburgh at the Fringe, I very much enjoyed it. It was my second time viewing the piece, having seen it in Camden beforehand.
I remembered a lot of the lines.
I realised that I obviously had an advantage on the rest of the audience, most of the rest of the audience,
because you'd heard of Alan Bennett.
I'd heard of Alan Bennett. I'd seen the play before. I knew everyone involved, basically.
Or both of us.
But I still feel as though, the core should have been accessible. What with the name, the small blurb,
Bennett,
the entire play, the fact they were both doing the same voice. And it was Alan Bennett's voice. But still in front of me, an old man, when leaving the theatre, turned to his wife to ask, well, I thought it was very good, but why was Alan Bennett talking to Alan Bates?
It's really one of the great questions. I like to believe that man asks that of every play he goes to see.
Just for the first time ever.
This was like the closest he got to it being apt.
Well, we're Alan Bennett talking to Alan Bennett.
I love that moment because it betrays the fact that he has experienced such a different hour to the rest of everyone in there.
Is so tangential to our own.
It barely overlaps.
It's lovely. It's the lovely thing about art. He came out of it. He enjoyed the Alan Bates conversation that never happened. And I'm like, you know what? You got something from it. That's the main thing.
So you wrote this play.
Yes.
Now, I'm assuming you know that you didn't write this line.
Well, so I've never used the phrase "quote unquote" licking vowels, and I don't think I would.
So
it's weird that you think that.
What I just want to do, because often, it's a trait actually in a lot of kind of postmodern horror, but also something we see in the real world, that when a writer gets very invested in their subject, they begin to merge lives. So I just want to check with you that you're sure that in your reading, you didn't see that Alan Bennett wrote that line as well. Did he write?
As far as I know, Alan Bennett has never said, "I'm Alan Bennett and I like licking vowels."
I love licking vowels.
love licking vowels,
Thank you for
sorry.
clarifying. Yeah, I'm Alan Bennett and I love licking
My
vowels.
research of Alan Bennett involved nobody licking vowels. I don't think he had research about anything.
This is so interesting.
Now, and another interesting thing is that I've lived with Isaac for a year and somewhat now.
Yeah,
I've known
God
him
bless
for
you.
a few years more. Gone 5 years now. I've known
crazy,
you.
isn't it?
And what I can confirm is that both literarily in the form of the written word, but also just in actuality in his everyday existence, licking is an enormous part of what he is, what he does, and who he considers himself to be. So
That's libel.
I'm going to say that it's not liable unless you can prove that it's in some way
I don't lick anything ever.
A, false, or B, that it's in some way harmed your ability to earn, which I doubt.
I got fired for someone overhearing that I talked about licking.
I'm going to go ahead here and on our behalf as a team plump for that being nobody.
Okay, well, I don't know if you guys have ever seen Darren Brown's stuff before. He's a mentalist, very popular in the UK.
Yeah.
And there's stuff that he can do, which, for example, this is just a for instance, like I like this but not this. He's in the back of a black cab driving around London and he starts banging on about circles and that. And the guy forgets where the London Eye is. What I've done is woven a similar linguistic spell, which I think, let me just confirm. Yeah, I've caught them both in it. That's a Toby line. I think now that you
Excuse me.
and remember it.
No.
God, it was
Because
such
the
a
phrase
powerful
licking
spell.
vowels is so disgusting.
And
it's
yet-
such a horrid thing.
It's very powerful hypnosis that I've spun. On to number 2.
Wow.
Declan, would you like to?
A point apiece, I think.
Yeah, it's a point for everyone because you don't lose points for succumbing to the kind of hypnotic persuasion that anyone would. Like, you can't hold that against you.
Question 2, I wonder if we'll...
This is for Declan to read, question 2. Some background to the quote that I've chosen from, I don't want to say from Toby's work. I don't want to be obvious about it.
No. Well, this is about your upcoming piece.
Oh,
this is
exciting.
from your upcoming piece, potentially. aside.
Interesting. Given that Isaac's never read it, so we'll see how that goes.
This is...
Been leaked on the Pirate Bay.
now, did you have any particular delivery in mind?
Yes. It's sorry, I didn't put the stage directions in this one. I didn't want to give away too
it's
much
fine.
of the play. It says enthusiastic, comma,
Edwin.
as if becoming Edwin as the sentence progresses. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so just take it away when you're ready. Good luck as well. Sorry, I didn't mean to distract you.
That's okay.
Tell me when you're in character though. Just give me a nod.
I'm always like the Hulk.
Good luck.
Harambe has no place in my pay what you please circus skills workshop.
Very good. That was a lovely delivery.
Thank you.
Toby, explain what.
Do you want to just...
Yeah.
Ed's got a very particular tone. Do you want to just translate that just in case anyone didn't catch
That
the
was
whole...
Harambe, the dead monkey, the dead gorilla, has no place in my, that's capitals, interesting choice, Toby, pay what you please, circus skills workshop. And it does end with an exclamation mark, which too few writers do
characteristic
these days.
of your work.
Talk us through that line that you chose.
So I didn't choose that one. Just to
weird.
put that out there.
The power of what
This
you
is
can
like
do in
when
this
Simon
version.
Pegg didn't know that he wanted
was
a
a
leather
BMX.
jacket.
So what this is Orangutan, which is the new play, which is on in March,
Yeah.
is based...
Plug the venue, plug the tickets.
It's a Vaults Fest from March 6th to March 10th at
Yeah.
6 p.m. So you can go just Google
be
Orangutan
there.
Vaults. And
We'll be there signing only parts of the script that include this line.
Yeah.
so the play was very, very, very loosely inspired at the time when I started writing it by the case about Harambe.
The case.
Well, the case in so the public...
The people versus...
Citizens United.
Bloody hell.
Right.
The situation around Harambe, who was a gorilla who was shot when a child fell in the enclosure.
Sorry, we say he was murdered. Like, we need to
He
be
was
honest
murdered.
about it.
That's fine.
He was slaughtered in his prime. I don't think we need to be afraid to say that.
So the play is very loosely inspired by that. It's about somebody who has a child fell in an orangutan enclosure. And it's about them trying to process that as an adult.
And so they go into a circus skills kind of.
No.
I pay what So what's the pay what you please? Is that like an economical?
Is that for
No.
the Vaults Festival?
Absolutely not.
It's a donation.
No, absolutely not.
That's interesting.
The amount of ways I cannot do a pay as you please.
That's interesting. So what's your final guess for that one? Are you saying Toby or nobody?
I'm going to say it's
we should
nobody.
pluck for nobody because wait, it's not. That's a Caroline Duffy.
Oh, you're so close. It's Toby.
Oh no!
Yeah, right.
It's from Alan and Bennett. Weirdly, now that's a kind of foreshadowing that you've done there, which I think is admirable. Number 3. It's like Mam always said. A pot of tea is just a jacuzzi for the fleshy throat walls.
Oh my god.
Talk us through that decision.
I don't want to. That's
Declan.
horrid.
Well, it's definitely you. Fleshy throat walls has your sordid
I'll come
lexical
clean.
fingerprints
It was
all
that
over
one
it.
was me.
That's
That one was me.
disgusting. This is what I mean. I listen to this on the train. I
Yeah,
listen to this
yeah,
stuff
yeah.
when I'm commuting on the train.
Well, because you wrote it, I suppose.
No,
You listen to like an audiobook of your own text.
No, I
That's
listen to you
interesting.
two idiots, and I get to hear this and all your weirdness about skin
So-
and goodness knows
So
what.
far, it's been a mixture of Toby and Noby. Let's see how this one plays out as well. This is number 4 of 5. Oh, Alan. I'll do it again. Oh, Alan.
Oh, is that the entirety?
That's the entirety of the quote. Now, it's a very selective piece, a fragment, if you will. And the delivery is important.
I think that's Sappho. Is it?
Oh, no, it's
No,
not.
Is
Sappho.
it
I
not
think-
Sappho?
I don't want to jump in early, but you're very wrong.
No, I just
bad
the
at
fragment
this.
thing.
Toby. Is this a Toby or
Right,
a-
now here's the problem. Right, because I'm going to say I did write that. Because I did write that.
Uh-huh.
But immediately the minute I say it, you're going to say I didn't write that.
You're
That's what's
saying-
going to happen.
So what's your answer?
So it's Toby. It's Toby.
Toby's claiming that that's a Toby line.
I thought my opinion. And see, you think that you're going to say you wrote it, and he's going to say, "Oh no, you never wrote that." My fear was that you'd say, "Yeah, I wrote that," and then he'd reveal that the rest of the line went on to say
Yeah.
something.
I'm going to kick
That's what I mean.
Harambe
That's what I mean. That's
straight in the
the
gut.
The other option is
Yeah.
he goes, "Oh, sorry, I found the rest of the quote. Oh, Alan, I love Hitler or
The
something."
thing
like
about
this.
the hostile environment for the Windrush is that, frankly,
So Toby or Noby, Declan?
I
need your answer.
I'm going to say Toby as well. He wrote that line. I heard him say it to Alan Bates.
Oh, Alan is actually from Alan Bennett's diaries. So that's arrogance that you've done there, where you've claimed his
You've
right
done
to
that
use your
thing I
own.
warned you about.
all the time.
Hubris. It's understandable because
You've
you know,
cost us points there.
I'm an Icarus sort of figure.
you're doing really well though so far, guys. You've got 1 point so far for where you worked out that the fleshy throat was. That was me.
Yeah.
I don't know if I made that clear. It was.
And the licking back, you're
That-
sticking to that,
That
as
was
a
in-
Toby
Yeah,
line.
I've got the script somewhere.
Oh, good.
We can look through that afterwards on our clock. Here's the last one. Declan, I just need you to read it. Really pay attention to the punctuation that I've put in and what it implies for your delivery, because it's complex line. And I don't want you to fuck it up and embarrass us in front of Toby, okay?
No, okay.
When you're ready.
Now, I'm just going to check again. The others weren't in quotation marks.
No, so that tells you this one is imbued with a very
And
special
am I to read
importance.
the addendum afterwards, or is that just a note?
Don't
for
be
yourself?
reading that. That's actually the answer to the question.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, on you go. Oh, very good. Just one more time, if you would. Nice. Okay, Toby, over to you. If you
I knew,
were a
half an
betting
hour
man.
ago, I knew this was a mistake, and it's already happened. I don't know. Maybe it's possible.
Sorry, Toby. The game's not called Toby or Maybe. I did kick that idea around for up to 5 minutes, but it's actually Toby or Noby. So, which one are you leaning towards?
So just someone saying "I" as in the pronoun.
I can't offer any advice in these circumstances, I'm afraid.
You literally did 3 questions ago.
I honestly never would.
So if it's
myself.
if it's I have done that. So
Okay,
We'll
so
say it's
Toby's
Toby.
saying Toby. Now,
Why not?
Declan, why don't you weigh in? What are you thinking here?
Well, I have seen the answer.
Yeah, but, just take all factors into consideration.
Having seen the answer, I feel like you're going to regret claiming this one. Not because it's actually a line from
Mein Kampf.
a bad work.
The Rivers of Blood.
He didn't say that
No.
in that, but because again he's going to try and get you on the old hubris angle.
Yeah,
and I don't think
he
you
is.
should fall for it.
no, I know.
I think you should say that it was Isaac himself,
No, that'd be wrong.
and then we can claim it's his hubris.
Don't be led astray by that.
I'm going to go, yeah, we'll go down that route. That's because good logic there.
Okay.
Isaac, you
Isaac.
think you were good enough to write Hamlet, do you?
So I don't. Hamlet? No, that was from Toby King's Orangutan, as far as I remember. Forthcoming at the Vault, March
6 through 10.
6 through 10th. And that brings us to the end of Toby or Noby. The reveal now that I can pull away the curtain. They were all from Orangutan. It's going to be cool. We're going to come
That is
along.
good.
I love how
I wrote the theme tune.
we've now stopped anyone who listens to this show ever coming
I
to
think
hear
they're going to be
either.
intrigued.
They'll be like, it's got Alan Bates in it and Harambe. I don't know.
Quoting Hamlet all
That
over
sounds
again.
like an amazing play. What do you mean? I'd definitely go and see it, and we will.
Whoa, what? Yeah, at least
God
once.
help us, we will. Toby, Milestone's king.
Hey up.
Long-time emailer, long-time listener, long-time companion. Through this workaday world that we call life. You've prepared a feature, I believe,
have.
for your inaugural appearance on That's a
Yeah.
Shame, of what I assume is going to be many. Because
Well, I
you've
mean, let's
enjoyed
hope so.
this so much.
It's been great. I'll just cry myself to sleep later
Well,
on the
we all
sofa.
will.
It's
We all
fine.
will. That's how we do it. In our
Here in the far north, I will just... It's fine.
Would you mind just talking us through what you've prepared
Absolutely.
and why you've prepared it?
So, I know you guys love forums. You guys spend a lot of time on your Reddits.
Yes,
And
true.
your 4chans.
Celeb
Oh, I
Heights.
don't go on 4chan. It makes me sick.
Celebheights.com.
Celebheights.com, where you can read up to 9 pages of guesses at whether or not Shakira is a dwarf. It's really fun.
So, I thought I'd bring a little bit of forum love to you guys.
That's very generous.
From one of the more popular forums that you probably don't frequent that much. I'm going to guess.
Oh, Isaac does.
I doubt that. That sounds like a slander.
You definitely do.
Okay.
I know you
Well,
love it.
Isaac, riddle me this.
Yep.
If you want to go on a forum and you want to be a bit maternal, where are you going to go?
I'm going to hit up Mum's
You're
Net.
going to hit up Mum's
Yes,
Net.
I do love Mum's Net. I would like, if it's possible, and if anyone from the BBC is listening, I would like to do, I was going to say Master Chef, but I mean Mastermind, with my special subject being all of the acronyms on Mum's Net, because from browsing it for 8 or so years now, they've all just become kind of osmosis into my being.
Yeah.
Some of them are incredibly complicated. They're like 7 letters that will stand for dear husband's least favourite cousin-in-law and things like that. And you just, some of the posts you click and they are utterly incomprehensible, just seas of acronyms.
Yeah, the
Really
acronym thing is what pulled me in a little bit.
It's weird, isn't it?
It's very odd. And acronyms for things which don't need acronyms.
That aren't long. The word son. They say DS rather than son.
Well, here's the thing. So,
Dear son.
Yeah, but
No need.
there's none.
but it can also mean darling son.
Darling
They make
son,
that very
yeah.
clear.
That's-
Yeah. It's
Is this
context
like
dependent.
deaf/capital deaf?
It's not like that. No, thanks for
The best thing is they have like
deaf
a
sounds like a really offensive radio station.
capital death. But the best thing about the acronyms is they have this massive glossary where they're like, these are common ones, and there's hundreds. But they also mix in things like ASD, autism spectrum disorder, with
things that they've made
dear
up.
husband
Yeah,
or whatever.
yeah.
It's like, this is insane.
It's a very strange ensemble.
So I've brought a few, and these all come from one particular branch, I suppose, of the forums.
Okay.
And that branch is AIBU.
Am I being unreasonable?
Am I being unreasonable?
Yes, that's a great part of Mum's Net for sure.
So the game.
Because the answer is always yes.
So the game here, I found some very reasonable people on Mum's
Okay,
Net.
good.
Nice.
And I just want you to tell me, AIBU?
Okay. Yeah, so we're going to be the panel that Mum's Net. It's a bit like being in a court, I suppose. I should maybe get a wig for this bit.
Okay.
And a gavel if you've got one hand. Oh, horrible noise. We are going to judge these mums, presumably.
Oh, yeah.
ATBU.
On their reasonable or unreasonable behaviour. Okay, I'm ready.
All right, so the first one is from Shamugran.
Big fan.
I am 4 years separated from a very difficult marriage. Lone parent to 2 DC.
Dear children.
Dear children.
Darling children.
Met BF.
Boyfriend.
Nice. You're
He's
picking
on
it
it.
up.
Don't you worry, lads. I'm here for the ones you can't get.
At a party around 8 months ago. We've got on really well.
That's good.
I know in my heart of hearts I don't want to live with anyone or integrate my life until the DC are older, i.e. over 18.
Wow.
I don't think it would be in my DC best interests for lots of reasons, including the possibility of it ending in tears and them going through that. I cannot afford or cope with any more children.
That is an option. You don't have to have more.
Nope.
I have always told BF that if he wants kids, he is younger. I am not the woman for him, as I absolutely do not want any more. He has been making a few hints about living together one day. How he can be a third kid for me to look after. That he wants to be taken care of financially.
Oh dear.
I've laughed it off, but I thought I should really make it totally transparent that I'm not available at all for cohabiting, blending, or family life in any way.
What in God's name is blending in this concept?
I was hoping you'd tell me.
No, I don't want to know anything about it.
So I brought it up with him, nicely, explained of course I adored him, and if he'd be happy with what I can offer him, then great. But if not, I'd get it if he didn't feel we wanted the same things. And he broke down and cried for about an hour.
Whoa.
Am I unreasonable?
I'd say definitely not,
I don't
actually.
think so, no.
I think he's unreasonable, the big
It
leech.
feels like he started fucking an older woman
Yeah.
and then decided that he wanted her to be a right proper Mrs. Robinson and pay for everything in his whole life.
And, you know, fair play for trying, but you've
Yeah.
got to accept being shut down.
You can't cry for an hour.
No, that's not cool.
That's part of following your dreams.
Part of the
Is
game.
you've got to take the L sometimes.
What's interesting about that situation, though, is why you would ask Mumsnet about it. Because it's not a forum known for its diversity of opinion. I think I've almost never seen a thread where they don't side. They either completely side with or entirely oppose the original post.
Yeah.
I just wonder, like, what they think they're going to get from it. Like, are they going to see a lot of different angles? People kind of sticking up for the guy, being like, well, if we try and see it from his perspective, he was just trying to, you know, fuck you, not deal with the kids and get your cash.
Yeah.
And, you know,
I
fair
think
play
that's
to him.
reasonable.
So I found in my little investigation that all these posts come under one or two things when it comes to this kind of thing rather than just general advice for parenting.
Yeah.
Either it's a mad person
Yeah.
who is just screaming mad things. For example, one was, do any mumsnetters live on boats?
Okay.
All right. Why does
Right.
it matter? Or
Sounds
it's
like she's
this-
in the sea when she writes it. Asking for a friend!
please. Or it's this very odd sort of circle jerk kind of
Yeah.
thing where they're all patting themselves. It's very strange. It's a very odd space.
It's weird though because it does seem like one of those things where the only thing they're doing is lessening the already insignificant like voice that they have within their own fucking walls. Like if the fact that they say yes you're in the right to everything makes the yes you're in the right to that mean absolutely nothing. It's the same on like the our relationship subreddit
Where everyone says to break up.
where like people
Immediately.
come into the thread and they're like, hey, I was talking to my boyfriend.
Break up!
And he said, I'm going to go to bed because I'm tired. Like, feel like this is a bad sign. What should I do? And it's like, lawyer up, hit the gym, like
Facebook.
end it. And then my girlfriend sent me a thread from there the other day that was about a girl complaining that her boyfriend would just throw up in the house and then just walk away from it. that he threw up on her bed and then just went to work.
I think she's going out with a dog.
And she confronted him about it, and he was like, "I was gonna clean it up, but then I had to go." But then has just like kept doing it. And she was like, "Feel like I really love him, but is this too
this a
much?"
deal breaker?
And people are like, "Yeah, that's not really normal. Like, you should break up." And you're like, "But this woman really, really needs that advice." I feel like you're not getting through as
They've
much as you
weakened
need
it.
be. Yeah,
You need to
it's
commit.
diluted.
So we're going to say she's not being unreasonable for her
No,
boyfriend
she's
crying
being
for an hour.
she's being very.
Yeah.
It sounds very much like that very good play you went to see today about a cougar in the climate
Very bad.
change.
Cougar in the climate change.
Yeah.
It's like the tiger who came to tea.
It's in the bad sex in fiction awards.
Right, so I've got a few more, so let's rattle through. So this one, it just kicks straight off from Flying Fish 2019.
Big fan.
AIBU, to wonder how some people coped in former times.
What does that mean?
When they had 12 children, husband was working down the mine 16 hours a day. No transportation.
Of course.
No frozen / canned food. No fridge. Constantly pregnant.
After the 12 kids, goodness.
Oh, it's locked. No help if somebody suffered a disability. And I think this was likely working down the mines those days.
Getting a disability all of a sudden.
Getting a disability all of a sudden because you're
Right.
constantly pregnant.
What era is she on about?
Oh,
Because
no, sorry, you didn't hear the former times.
in the olden
Thatcher.
days.
Work out, they didn't have any transportation at this point. So.
Yeah, there was no transportation, but there
What
were
was
mines. How were they getting in and out of them?
Toby, you did history. Which of the monarchs was it that said you have to have 12 kids and be pregnant all the time?
Oh, I think that was Elizabeth II.
Right.
No help if you get disabilities, even though that's
No,
likely
that
in
was
those
a-
mines.
And if you want some canned food, you can jog on.
At least you knew you weren't going to get run over.
I just wondered because I have far less than 12 children, and
Show
DH
off. Yep, dear husband.
does not work down the mines.
Oh.
And still, we are often so tired. And so with about 8 O's. Children keeping us awake play a role in this. How would we cope if there was 12 of them and we had to live under the conditions described?
Well, you wouldn't,
What
I'm
part
afraid.
of that, what does am I being unreasonable mean in the context of that question?
I'm afraid you are being unreasonable.
Thought of something you've made up.
You've
and
wasted
then worried about
everyone's
it.
fucking time. Most
unreasonable
notably,
that you'd
our
bother.
listenerships. What's her point? Because you're not being unreasonable if you recognise they had it harder, but you are if you're still trying to get any sympathy for being tired because you've got one kid.
I mean, to my
One
fundamental
kid and you're married to no minors.
problem for me, it then just became a constant would you rather, where one of the options is always or constantly pregnant. So it's like, would you rather husband was working down the mines or just constantly pregnant?
24/7.
Would you rather no help for disabilities, but
no transport?
I really enjoyed that one. It was
Very
so
strange.
Very
Yeah.
odd.
And did anyone have an answer?
So
for
some people
her?
did. Hopeful16 said, and so each of these questions has 5 question marks after it, so I'll try and communicate
Okay.
that. Older ones helping to bring younger ones up. More community support / spirit. Lower expectations from life.
Characteristic
Amazing
of the past.
From the
Of the former
times.
times.
Strawberry Redhead said, I have wondered the same myself. In Ukraine, for example, which is always a good start to a sentence.
Yeah.
In Ukraine, for example, mothers will still have 10 children and they live in poverty.
Wow.
I'm fascinated to know how they keep their mental health. I have 2 and struggle.
Very offensive and
I've had to
patronising.
sell mine.
Flying Fish actually got back to our little friend about the older ones looking after the younger ones and said, but weren't the older ones often dead with the life expectancy so low?
Well, by definition, not the older ones.
And if a mother had 10 children or 12 children, 2 of whom died, she probably had 100 grandchildren. How could she help at all?
What do you mean? This isn't rabbits.
I just don't understand the idea of making up a situation and then worrying about it.
God, this was worse.
Very strange.
How would I have coped then? I
I hope
said.
she's never read a single book.
Yeah.
Because she'd be up all night worrying about
Sweating.
Neville Longbottom.
So,
His poor parents.
I love how
Tells
you,
him he's forgotten, doesn't tell him what. Was it
What,
worse?
what would I do? And no transport to think of.
am I being unreasonable to worry about the rememberal?
Very sad.
So that's the question, quickly fire off. Is she being unreasonable?
yes.
But
But not in the way she thinks. In a very novel and much more profoundly worse way.
So this one is from Peanut Batter.
Clever. I'm a fan of that kind of wordplay already.
Yeah.
So I'll rattle
Why?
through this one.
Well, that's someone who, a fellow vowel licker. They've licked that U straight into an A.
Fellow vowel licker
Yeah, because Toby
'cause
put
you
me in
wrote-
that play, and then I had to say that. Like,
betrayed yourself.
All right, so this is by our Peanut Batter. After noisy and petty neighbours, I was relieved when we moved that our new neighbours turned out to be a pleasant semi-retired couple, and me and
semi-retired.
So in work.
Doesn't mean anything, does it?
Or does that mean one of them's
Oh,
retired?
yeah, maybe.
me and DH had a couple of chats out front, all good. I've seen the wife a few times, as I am part-time and a homebody, and she seems a very nice person, but a bit gossipy.
Yeah.
A few months later,
She said, talking to millions online.
bitching about her neighbours.
Jokes.
A few months later, I'm a bit worried.
Uh-oh.
2 weeks into moving in, she knocked on the door, saying our washing had blown over outside. Then, ooh, you're on with painting. What is your next job?
What? What does that mean?
No
It's an old lady curse.
This is Drag Me to Hell. A new
Gonna
medium.
gum her before the day is out.
I stupidly said, "Do you want to come in?"
Yeah, that's
she
an
was.
error.
She was looking
She's a
all
vampire.
around. I didn't realise that room was a boot room.
What's a boot room?
Who said that?
The woman visiting neighbour.
I didn't realise that was a boot room. If someone came
She
into my
said
house
of
and
the
said
kitchen.
I didn't realise that room was a boot room. Oh, you've planted that tree there, she said.
This person is
referring to the garden.
criminally insane.
She said she'd never been in the house before.
Well, why would she have been?
But because she's obviously creeping in all the time, wandering about the boot room.
She's taken to stepping over the shrubs to come into the front garden when I'm there for a chat, which has held me up a few times. Then we noticed some patterns. My DH noticed when I was out gardening, they kept wandering up the garden to the area I was in. I said it was probably coincidence, as the weather's getting better.
It's not.
Then I noticed when I go out front, suddenly there's a rush to go to the car for something, etc.
They're creeps.
Last month, out front painting a sideboard, Q stepping over the shrubs. Cooey! She wondered, spelled with an A, what I was doing. Ooh, can I have a look? I felt obliged to let her into the shed to take a look.
Oh, no.
Yesterday, we had a climbing frame erected in the back garden for our DD.
Darling daughter.
Darling daughter. After I went outside to the front, around the corner, putting some stuff in the bin, and then I heard, "How are you getting on?" She stepped over the hedge this time with her 3-year-old granddaughter.
What sort of legs has she got?
Hello? How are you getting
Next
on?
time she steps from the front into the garden over the house.
She's just peering through the window. Like big
Fucking
BFG.
Clifford the big red dog.
She said, "Can I be nosy and look at your climbing frame?"
If someone said
Better
that to me,
to ask
I'd
forgiveness
run away.
than permission.
Can I be nosy and look at your climbing frame?
I felt a bit deflated. She was the first person in the new house when we wanted our ILs,
In-laws?
in-laws, to see it first. And now she is now the first person to come and look at the climbing frame.
That's not a big deal.
No, that's not the problem.
No,
here.
it's not like it stains it when she looks at it, probably.
Well, here's the thing. My DH hadn't even had the chance to christen it.
Oh, they're
What,
going to fuck on it.
wanking all over the climbing frame for the
Ejaculating
in-laws.
on the monkey bars for extra grip.
Horrid.
That's the worst thing I ever
So,
heard.
I don't want to come across as abrupt and alienate her. After our last Otter Neighbours, it's a relief to have someone friendly. But my DH is horrified and annoyed at her and says she's a menace. And I'm beginning to agree. AIBU?
I don't even know if with this one, because I feel like it's one of those situations where if you were there, they're just completely misunderstanding each other's intentions.
Yeah.
I don't believe she's clearly an old retired person with too much time on her hands.
But like what?
But it didn't sound
her
like
complaint was not about any of the stuff that was wrong.
no, it was about
like
her seeing
oh,
things too early.
Ted Bundy came round, and not only did he beat me up, but he didn't like the flower
And he
arrangements.
saw my boot
Yeah.
room before my nan got to poke
Before
her nose in it.
DH's ILs did.
Very weird.
Yeah,
It's an odd one.
she's not being unreasonable, but I'm going to wager that she is. Is my response.
It's the christening of the climbing frame by the husband I found very
I
strange.
don't. And
I
also,
love the idea of him like he's bought a big bottle of champagne to fucking smash over it, and then no one can use it for a week because there's broken
Shards.
cards all over the fucking gaff.
I just think
Nan goes down the slide and opens the femoral artery.
I find it unreasonable, again, in a way that was not anticipated by the question, to mention a boot room and not explain it, even if she was confused
I
about
think
it.
it's like... I think what it is, it's like, you know, in some houses you have like, it's not like a conservatory,
Big
but
room.
no, but like,
full of boots.
but like
The welly shack.
you know, you all have one next to the orchard. The servants live there. No, but like you have that little like room before you get in the hallway, which has like a glass door. Is that it?
Like a porch.
Yeah, like a porch.
I don't know
that
anyone
the
calling
boot
it a
room?
boot room, mate.
But where else are you going to put your
Didn't know
boots?
you had a boot room and looking around at a big
Fucking
bootless
fancy.
room. No, neither did I.
Fundamentally.
Also, like, if it's a porch, like, what does she mean then? Because you can see the porch from the front of the house.
And what were the other couple doing there
I
to
love
make it
that
so strange?
This
that
has
it's a
such a
boot room?
like American Beauty. It's like suburban drama kind of feel, Desperate Housewives esque. Like the importance to her of stepped over the shrubs,
Yeah, that's
like
good,
to
isn't
talk to me. It's
You can
like,
feel her bristling.
yeah, you know.
But then she won up to herself by jumping over the
Launching,
hedge.
dragging her 3-year-old
Fosby
granddaughter.
flopping straight over the fence to
Granddaughter
look at the
pings
climbing
over.
Like a
frame.
salmon swimming upstream.
Let's get a look at that frame.
Now, point us to the boot room.
Quickly, child, where's that tree you planted?
I'm going to side with the old mad lady on this one.
Yeah, you're
she's
being
being-
unreasonable.
Yeah, I think so.
So I've got one more, and
She
this
just wants
one...
to look around. Let her in. She'll be dead in a couple of minutes. No doubt. She hasn't killed you first.
Especially the way she's leaping over stuff.
Spine won't
Bound to
be
have an
dust.
accident.
So this one is the last one, and
Okay.
it's my personal favourite. It's from Cameron 2012. So I went out with a man many, many years ago who was very kind, interesting, handsome. There's no comment there. So.
Interesting, handsome. That's like Sorry Grateful from Company.
Yeah. So to me, it sounded like Zachary Quinto. I'd say it's interesting.
Adam
handsome.
Driver.
Adam Driver.
He
Interesting.
gets
handsome.
called Interesting, Handsome a lot.
It's fine.
Eamon Holmes, of course.
Miles Teller.
That robot from Doctor Who, the Cyberman.
Oh.
Yeah, fair. A knockout.
Enigmatic hottie.
So he was very nice, interesting, handsome. Drove a lovely car.
Makes it sound like it was nice to her.
Strode Brom.
Drove a lovely car and was very popular. But
Very weird description of someone already.
I ended the relationship. Sorry. I ended the relationship because he seemed to think... Sorry.
That's all right.
He seemed to think whispering penetration in my ear was sexy.
In what context do they say? Just
There's no context given.
At the theatre.
at church. That's the worst word to whisper.
That's like
bar none.
That's like in Friends where Ross is trying to do dirty talk and he just panics and says vulva. Like, what? Does she go on?
A little bit. I also finished with a bloke because he had thick blonde hair on his arms. Am I being unreasonable?
Well, you know, you like what you like, and no one likes having penetration whispered in them.
But on the arms business, I think I'd have thought you'd have seen his arms before hooking up.
Yeah, interesting. He was
Long
he was
sleeve Joe.
leaning right forward into the penetration whisper.
And is that all she gives on
That's
the
it.
penetration front?
She just said he
can't-
was a very kind, interesting, handsome, drove a lovely car, very popular. He seemed to think the whispering penetration in my ear was sexy.
I like the implication that it's like that's a repeated action.
Yeah.
Like he's not been dissuaded because at some point she's just been like, the first time someone did that, you'd be like, that's a bit weird. And then if they kept doing it, you would quickly be like, look, we need this to stop.
We need
now.
to stop.
But for some reason, he still thought that was like the way to go about the whole thing.
There was what I like about that is that there was a last time that he did that. That
The final
that
straw.
after, yeah, that after some amount of back and forth over this, that he just like looked at her. She was doing the washing up, and he like came into the kitchen. He looked at her, and he thought,
I'll hit
she
her with one of
can't
these.
have been serious.
I reckon it was
One more.
after they had a big
He
argument. He cheated on her, and they had this huge argument, like rowing, and that like one that rows into a crescendo, and then they broke down like, "I just love you. I want to be with you."
I'm going to go one further than you think. I think that they have a make-up fuck, and then afterwards they're lying there embraced,
He's smoking a cigarette,
Yeah.
maybe.
and she
Just
turns to him.
looks
She's
over.
like,
That was
Tell me
pretty
why-
fucking great.
"Tell me something romantic," and he just leans down.
He does that thing where you suck in a great big spit line that you've been playing with.
Lips to the ear.
See, I go more down the route of he's driving his lovely car in the country, and he's got his picnic packed, and he takes it to a nice sort of vista,
This
and
is
he puts
lovely.
it out, and they're having their sort of cheese and other picnic goods.
Yeah.
And he just leans over and kisses her softly on the temple and whispers, "Penetration!"
It's lovely.
This is-
isn't
And she
it?
just
This
goes,
like-
"Frank, I can't take it anymore."
This sounds like a
Drives
sort
off
of
with this
Harry and Paul sketch, like a recurring sketch that happens throughout the series to various couples.
It's very strange.
I don't think she's being unreasonable.
No.
But I want to know more. I think she's the
being
only
unreasonable
unreasonable
in
thing she does is that she
withholding.
hasn't did anyone respond to that?
So there were responses, but she didn't get back to
clarify.
it. So people
Well, she's
then
been
just started.
killed by him, I'm afraid.
So somebody's Queen of the Andals said,
Wow.
"We need to know more about this OP,
Uh-huh.
old partner."
Original
Original
poster.
statement. Was it a statement of intent, the penetration? A statement of
Old-
what he
old
just
penetrator.
a statement of what he'd just done, or just something he randomly said.
Imagine like a fucking delivery notification from Amazon. Penetration.
Oh, by the way, that was a withdrawal. It's a real shame.
Well, so what most people have done here is just share their own mild horror stories. For example, X2 Boys said, green underpants, not boxers or shorts, but the type you buy for little boys.
Oh, he's wearing little boy's green pants.
Yeah.
Little boy's pants.
That's weird,
Why is
isn't
he
it?
wearing little boy's pants?
But hang on, why did they comment that? Like, is that just something
was that
they're sharing?
was that the sum
Everyone's doing
total of
this.
their comment?
Everyone's commenting about little green pants.
They're all
Mum's net is freakish, I tell you, shut it down.
LGPs.
Has this been...
DH is LGPs.
LGBPs.
It's just they've gone for... Everyone's decided they just want to...
They're
put
airing
out-
their dirty laundry.
So one of them's rather sheepish.
Stop it.
Rather sheepish says, a guy who kept fiddling with his nipples during sex.
Fiddling with...
He always used to go out and do a large post-coital shit.
Oh.
Go out like a dog.
He'd always step over the shrubs, squat in the boot
Wander
room.
Raking the old nipples.
Wander over to the tree, what we planted there.
Big post-coital shit.
That's horrible.
Go out for.
I hate people on the internet and in real life.
There's a development.
Okay.
Mistress Merriweather said, Cameron 2012, the original post, my ex used to whisper the same thing. He thought it was funny / sexy. I wonder if it's the same guy.
Oh God, please may it be.
Was
the
he
same
interesting, handsome?
guy. No. He was interestingly ugly.
Oh, we have a little more. Sorry, listeners, as this is a developing
No, this
story.
is
So Cameron was replying to our Queen of the Andals friend. She said, we never actually had sex, or even came close.
We were brother and sister.
He
She reveals.
he whispered...
I saw his horrid thick arm hair.
He whispered, and I'm going to have to read this as she spells it, so I'm going to have to sort of lean in and get that good mic sound. He whispered, penetration.
Is he a parcel man?
And then...
Fucking salad fingers in
Harry
it.
Potter had whispered that to the Chamber of Secrets. And the basilisk appeared.
So he whispered
To
penetration,
death.
and then stuck his tongue in my ear.
Oh.
That's a big crime. Like, just bare bones criminal act.
Top percentile crime.
I feel sick about all of it, to be honest. Thank you, Toby, for that feature. Let's give Toby a
You're
smash
so
of applause.
welcome.
Toby, you've been quite the guest. may I say.
You haven't been unreasonable.
You've blessed us with all we didn't say. Did we say if she was unreasonable or no? Where did we
Oh, we
land on
didn't
it?
know.
No, I
did we?
said that she's not unreasonable.
Okay.
But she's unreasonable because she didn't tell us more about this
I
fucking
think-
absolute Ted Bundy.
I think she is unreasonable for allowing that to have happened more than once. Because you've got to get
You
out
call
there.
the police.
Someone whispers penetration in your ear,
You got
done.
me thinking of the DCs.
No, absolutely. You've got to run for the hills, no less.
Straight off.
Toby, you've been quite the guest. From talking about the great poetic works that you've written to all of them, as I recall, to you gracing us with some of the internet's finest freakdom. It's been a pleasure, hasn't it, Declan?
It certainly has.
How would
It's been
you
wonderful.
sum up Toby's guesthood?
He has been a third presence on the show.
I'll take that.
God, and you can't say more than that. Can you? If you'd like to just turn up and be on the show, then come to our flat.
Literally
whenever
very
you're-
welcome to.
But if you want to have a more, reserved approach to getting involved, if you want to stay in the boot room of our hearts,
It's taken Toby 133 previous episodes to pluck up the courage to come on.
yeah.
And do you think it was too soon, too late? Just the right moment?
I think it's a sort of Gandalf situation.
It's a fine.
It's never
line.
late, nor is it early. I come on the show precisely when I mean to.
That's good.
Not on a milestone.
No.
Important.
Not very on brand.
No, very on.
Not really. I didn't choose the brand. I really want to emphasise that while I'm here. Did not choose that name.
Well, let history decide that. People can rewind to the former times and make their own conclusions.
If others wish for a little more at a distance relationship with us to keep things formal before they enter
Platonic.
the boudoir that is
God, yeah.
the unorthodox recording
We've got a
space.
stage light.
It's
I'm drinking
sexy as hell.
Fanta.
We're on a big revolving bed.
Really cool.
Then you could email us.
Yeah.
The email, of course, as Toby knows, well, he doesn't because he uses the contact form.
I do.
Is TAS, T-A-S, at shame.city. Or indeed, like Toby, you can visit the contact form on the website, shame.city/contact. contact.
Why not?
The capture was broken the other day.
Oh,
God,
are you sure
that's
you're
all
not
I
just
need.
part
It's probably
bot?
me. Nah, it's probably me.
Isaac can't fix the capture, being not a human himself.
Yeah, I don't know.
He never knows.
I just click at random.
It says click all the ones that have traffic lights, and he just cries.
I just throw the computer
I mean, to be
away.
fair to Isaac, at this point, he is mostly toaster. So, yeah.
Thank you.
at
Thank
least.
you, everyone.
You can find the show on Twitter at That's a Shamecast. You can find myself at DE Delane. You
Yep.
can find Isaac at IsaacBD. Toby, can they find you anywhere? Not on the old Twitter sphere.
No, they can find me on Instagram. It
Oof,
says, trying
look at
desperate. I'm not on Twitter.
I
'cause-
just can't wait, Toby King.
That's
That
it.
was your own very good
Yeah,
pun that
it
you
was.
came up with yourself.
Definitely.
Yeah, I just can't wait. Toby King. You can find me on
Yeah.
Instagram. Add me. Have fun. It's going to be great.
That in the Toby or nobody
Yeah.
phrase, that was one you
That
came up
Toby
with.
came up
Yeah.
with.
I did.
He claims. Other people might have said it separately, but, the jury's out. Jury's out on that one.
So you can find Toby. I just can't wait, Toby King.
And let's plug your show once more.
Yes, it's Orangutan. It's going to be at the Vault Festival in London from March 6th to March 10th at 6 p.m. And if you Google Orangutan Vault Festival, you'll find it super easy.
I hope so, because whatever
hit, baby.
else they
If
found.
you,
First hit.
if you misspell it even a tiny bit, the government are on you. And GCHQ.
Do, if you're anywhere around London, come and see it, because in selecting the content for Toby or Noby, I didn't choose all of Toby's best lines. I chose a mix from some of your early works, some of your unpublished works.
When you were
that not even you know about. But Toby is a Papa Tango shortlisted writer. That's a prestigious writing prize. He's
Yeah.
a very talented boy.
That's not
5-star
one we've
reviews
won
in
yet.
national press. No, it's not one that we've ever going to, approach.
No.
But it's nice to know that someone we know has.
Exactly.
And we can sort of bask in that.
Our influence
Yeah.
is seen throughout Toby's work.
Really good.
Palpable.
Yeah, that's what.
Moist.
All of the licking that there'll be in
If I see one of those vowel licks, I'll know where it
If
came
the
from.
actor tries to do a vowel lick, I'm going to cancel the entire show immediately. I'm going to just march on the stage and go,
That's
no, we're
enough,
done. We're done.
please.
Thank you.
Now this is, what is it, Sunday the 25th?
I don't know.
Lord's Own Day.
Yeah.
This evening, is it not, is the Oscars.
Sure. Sometime after you hear this, it'll be the Oscars.
Yeah. Either tonight or tomorrow night.
Yeah, but
as
it's
in
all
Monday
immaterial
night.
because we don't know when they're listening to it.
And we're going to be doing a little thing, aren't we? Probably, maybe.
Probably, yeah.
We're
going to be in our Discord, which is
shame.city/discord.
Dishcord.
Yeah.
Would you like to say that again? Sean Connery?
Shame.city/discord.
It's a real mouthful, believe us. It's a live chat room. Toby's in there all the time. I give him different inspiration for plays and he goes and writes them. It's really good. It's a sort of production line of art.
And we'll probably be watching,
Yeah.
in part, if we can find it.
Oh, we can.
And
Commentating.
commentating. Wow. I like
can we get a
that.
little- can we get a sneak peek?
Are we going to do voice? Are we going to do a bit of
Of course
voice?
we are. We're going to be in there.
Wow.
Live chatting the Oscars into oblivion.
Giving people our live voice for the first time ever.
I've been reading up on the red carpet appearances and I'm
Yeah.
going to have a huge amount to say about all the fashion.
Oh, good.
Can we get a sneak peek? See which film you guys think is going to win Best Picture? The Big Daddy?
Yeah, it's going to be that Clint Eastwood film, The 3:10 to Paris, or whatever it was, which is not nominated, but it's going to just sideline its way in there.
I think that I think they'll probably follow some of the others. I think they'll probably give it to Green Book. I think they'll
I don't think
but I
they
think they'll give direction to Quaron for Roma.
That's it. I think they're going to give it to a Bohemian Rhapsody because the Academy are maniacs. They're complete maniacs.
No, they
Goodness
can't
me.
give it best
For
film.
more of this kind of chat, join us in shame.city/discord on Oscars night. You know when it is.
Best
You'll
editing.
be there. Until episode 135, joined then by only our two solitary voices, but the memory of Toby, of course, will linger on like a wet ghost, dripping ectoplasm upon the table of audio.
And you'll be licking that ectoplasm.
As long as it's vowel-based.
This is
Or
what
an
I'm
H.
talking about. This is it. This is the awful stuff. This is what we
I've
hate.
been Isaac. You've been.
I've been decked.
And you've been.
Toby.
Catch you real soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Look for the bare necessities, the simple bare necessities. Forget about your worries and your strife. I mean the bare necessities, oh Mother Nature's recipes that bring the bare necessities of life. Wherever I wander, wherever I roam, I couldn't be fonder of my big home. The bees are buzzing in the tree to make some honey just for me. The bare necessities of life will come to you. For the bare necessities, the simple bare necessities. Forget about your worries and your strife. I mean the bare necessities, oh Mother Nature's recipes that bring the bare necessities of life. Wherever I wander, wherever I roam, I couldn't be fonder, my new home. The bees are buzzing in the tree to make some honey just for me. The bare necessities of life will come to you. Necessities, the bare necessities, the bare necessities of life will come to you.